This has gotta be it. This has gotta be it. Yeah. It's not even gold. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys. Well, it's a you. What? I got 2 in 1. I swear on my life, this is not scripted. I swear on my life. I swear on my life. I swear on my life. I swear. Today, I want to talk about Echocalypse. Echocalypse is set in a post-apocalyptic world where advanced technology and ancient relics hold the key to humanity's survival. In this game, you play as a leader who teams up with powerful allies, aka your favorite waifus, who have traits that'll let you save the world. Together, you'll clear through the story, farm for gear, and of course, have fun all along the way. But in case you were actually curious about what the game features and what I'm going to be showing off today, it has exciting fights, it has farming, gear progression, PvP against other players. Put it simply though, guys, if you like anime games, if you like turn-based or strategy games, Echocalypse is the game for you. Let's get into it. Now, when you start Echocalypse for the first time, there'll be a couple of things that probably look familiar in other kind of gacha games. That includes the combat, walking into and trying to eliminate enemies. And although at first it does take time for you to clear out stages, and of course you'll get to see all the cool animations, there are features like the 3x battle, the auto battling, and inevitably something like a skip. Later on, of course, you will also have access to things like quick battling, which is totally fine and actually very helpful in terms of farming out and wanting to proceed through or clear more content. But today I actually have a few other things I'd like you to keep in mind before you continue playing or trying to envelop yourself into the world of Echocalypse. The first thing you should know about Echocalypse is that when you log in for 14 days, you gain SSR Fenriru, and you also gain other SSR units alongside currencies, items, and things to help you along the way. So make sure to log in every single day. Additionally, once you complete chapter 5 of the main story, you gain access to Winnow, who's another very powerful character. Now, when you are starting off the game though, and you're proceeding through and clearing different kinds of tutorials, especially early on in the game, you have access to a couple characters, including, well, the main character who you're playing. Now, something worth mentioning here is that although in most gacha games, and including this one too, the protagonist starts out as someone that is a little bit weaker, eventually this character ends up being quite powerful later on, and he does fulfill the role of a decent crowd control character with a lot of stunning and the ability to, well, avoid damage when you're at certain health thresholds. Now, I know I just talked about it earlier about the 14-day login, but in case you were curious, the Fenriru character that I mentioned earlier is actually given to you on your second day login, which is quite helpful, especially because you're going to need someone to clear through a lot of the content. But do know as well that this is not just a character that's strong early, she's also quite useful late as well. On the topic of free goodies and all these different characters that we've talked about, you also get access to Nanook, who's automatically given to you after you finish the prologue, but you have to exchange this for one gacha pull, which is like whatever. Now, the reason why I bring up these two characters is because they're very helpful and they're also very good, especially when you're lacking units at the start of the game. But I know what you're probably thinking at this point, Connor, like, what is there actually to do in this game though? And maybe even more interesting for yourself, should I reroll? Is it worth rerolling in this game? And I have the answer to both of those questions. Truthfully, rerolling is not really necessary. If you're familiar with other games where eventually you gain access to all of them through just playing through the game and the story, this is a sort of similar situation. So you don't have to necessarily waste your time rerolling. However, if you're looking for an exclusive unit or if you're trying to pull for your one favorite character, feel free to do so. But now in terms of what you would use those units for or what you're gearing up to try and do in this game, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there are a couple things to consider, including the PvP of the game, the farming for gear, and everything in between. The first thing I want to talk about is cage fight, and I want to make a huge emphasis on this specifically because unlike other PvP games where it's just for the thrill of the game or just for a shiny medal that doesn't really do anything, cage fight gives you a lot of different rewards, and you can get things like stamina potions, equipment, or even other items that you need to power up your units. Now, on the topic of PvP and playing against other players, there's also syndicates, aka guilds. You can use syndicates as a way to gain additional rewards from their specific sort of content, but one of the best parts about having a syndicate as well is that assuming that you have other friends that are in the game, you can also use these units to clear some of the harder content in the game. Aside from the tutorial and the early rewards that you get, Echocalypse also gives loads of rewards from time to time, and with this, guys, make sure to use the gift code I'm gonna link right above me and in the video description down below if you want to gain even more rewards than what I've already mentioned. But let's take a moment to not just talk about the gameplay and the tutorial of the game, let's actually take a look at what Echocalypse has to offer. Now, before we go any further, guys, I do want to also mention that Echocalypse is having their 1-year anniversary, and with the 1-year anniversary events and celebrations alongside all the rewards that you'll get from completing the activities is, well, this new favorite character of mine known as Demonica. If you guys could not tell based on the various assets that make her quite appealing, I think that Demonica is one of the cooler looking characters, not just because she's, well, your average waifu, but also because she's got a really cool looking weapon as well. She's got a couple of the demon looking aspects to her as well, which I'm going to move my camera around so you can see like the different demon eye ball kind of summons that she's got going on. To be honest, guys, I'm also a sucker for staff slash scythe weapony looking type, and it's not for the reason that you're thinking of, I promise. However, guys, I am quite excited for what she'll bring to the table, whether that's a new sort of playstyle, a new addition to the dormitory perhaps, or anything in between, to be honest. Well, because doing anything like PvP or any other content with a new character is honestly the reason why I play pretty much any gacha game. You want to see how the new characters shake things up, and honestly, Demonica seems like the sort of character that can do just that. Okay, well, as it turns out, we've actually got a couple resources here to try and pull for Demonica. Again, if you didn't know, this is the first UR character that Echocalypse has introduced, so she's really, really sick. Please, please, please come home early. Okay, okay. Please, please. Okay, all good, all good, all good. Additional resources, we're building our luck. Okay, give me an indicator, a sign, a glow, and anything. Okay, that's not the glow I'm talking about, all right? I'm not talking about a purple glow. Maybe something special? Maybe a non-purple glow, please? Yellow, gold? All right, well, okay. I have got to be taking away the bad luck from you guys, right? That's got to be what's going on. Red. Oh, this has got to be it. This has got to be it. Yeah. It's not even gold. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys. Well, it's a you. What? I got 2 in 1. I swear on my life, this is not scripted. I swear on my life. I swear on my life. I swear on my life. I swear. If you saw my last video on Echocalypse, you've probably seen the fact that I not only married, but also had a big crush on Vedfolnir, who, in my opinion, has basically everything I want in a waifu. However, combat is not the only thing that you can do aside from, well, getting married to your characters. And with this, I also put Vedfolnir into my dormitory, and hey, spending time here is actually a lot more fun than you'd think. Plenty of different ways to, well, appreciate your character in whatever way that you want, but there's also some things like the bathtub, which can be pretty goofy. Well, you put them into the bathtub, you can kind of, hey, all I'm gonna say is, hey, happy wife, happy life, you know what I mean? But let me take a step back. The dormitory system is actually something that I think a lot of gacha games unfortunately miss out on or don't prioritize, and for whatever reason it is, I don't quite get that. Personally, I find that the dormitory system and any sort of world building or immersion kind of setting systems in a game are quite valuable. Now, there is one more thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to Echocalypse. It's just how much strategy you could actually implement should you choose to do so. Now, let me be clear. You don't necessarily have to do these things, and for the average gacha player, maybe on occasion you want to manual one single activity, especially if it's pretty difficult, but that's where Abyssal Dive comes into play. Now, normally if you are going to outgear, or if you're going to beat up every single encounter no matter what, yeah, okay, what you're seeing on screen is pretty honestly enjoyable, just seeing everything blow up instantly to your favorite character or your favorite teams. But one of the unique aspects about Abyssal Dive that's actually pretty cool is that as you go further and further into Abyssal Dive, not only do you gain more rewards, it also gets much harder. Enough so that you actually have to put a lot of time into thinking about the team compositions that you're running and the synergies that you have as well. Now, I've brushed over some of the different activities that you can do combat-wise, but again, aside from the PvP, aside from the Abyssal Dive, and aside from, well, the story that you'd clear out as well, I'm also quite fascinated by the different combat systems that already exist in the game. Now, you have things like your weapons that, of course, certain characters will have access to, and you have to farm materials to level them up, but also the Elimono system, I think, adds a lot more depth than people think. Now, to be clear, this isn't a game that necessarily has to be super complicated, as again, as someone that really appreciates doing autoing, I find that having access to the 3 times and even the skip can be very relaxing and calming actually. But I've always been a fan of games that give you the access to both. If you want to play auto, feel free to do so, but if you also want to challenge yourself, by all means, that's also an option for you too. Now the intricacies, the different systems that you have access to, and even the inheritance system, which allows you to level up new characters to the same level as your old ones, is pretty interesting for the reasons that you'd probably imagine. Well, it gives it a bit more depth. It's not just a simple, okay, I'm gonna turn my brain off, I'm gonna close my eyes and everything is dead. There are different ways for you to cheese out certain stages or push further than you'd otherwise have thought, specifically because you were rewarded for your efforts to try and figure out the content. And now guys, although there are plenty of things to love about Echocalypse already, let's take a look at all the new anniversary event items that you're also being given access to. There's the new skins, there's the new characters to play with, and let's be honest guys, who doesn't love some extra pulls too? Now, of course, guys, there are other additional bonuses and goodies that you can get every day, including dailies and sign-in activities, which, of course, feel really good because, well, getting things like free rewards, free currency, allows you to pull new characters, allows you to gain an insane amount of value on your account, honestly, just because you log in. Like, what's not to love? But if currencies isn't up your alley, you do also have daily sign-in rewards that includes up to 30 SSR pulls, which is really crazy to be completely honest. And now guys, although of course pulling the double ultimate rare was kind of ridiculous, it is also worth mentioning that of course a lot of the summons are being updated for the anniversary. This includes the fact that there will now be more limiteds that are added to the anniversary summoning pool, so make sure not to miss those too. Okay, now let's be honest, it wouldn't be a showcase if I didn't get to, you know, interact a little bit with the characters. And I mean, what is life without proposing to the newest character, right? Surely? I'm surprised it even fits. Okay, here we go. She's getting impatient, boys. She's getting impatient. I'm cutting off the wording. Don't worry. She doesn't say anything else. She says she's getting impatient. Oh, I mean, okay. Okay, by all means. Boys. Exclusive memories with me. Okay. All right. Well, that was crazy. I didn't know we got ASMR in the call. Hey. Fantastic though. I'll take it. I'll take it. There are a bunch of things to love, including free goodies, but also things like the game store gift pack that you should definitely pick up, especially if you want more free pulls or if you want to build up your units even better. Now again, guys, of course, there are so many things to explore and do in Echocalypse, but I hope that my initial couple tips for you taught you something, you learned something, or you were able to enjoy today's video. And as a final note, guys, make sure to check out the rest of Echocalypse's social media accounts if you want to keep up to date on the new characters being released, the new content being released, or any freebies that you'd otherwise miss. Thanks again for watching though, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's showcase and video. I'll see you all next time. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.